All right, today we're going to look at your Star Trek conversions. In order to do this, you do have to have the worksheet that I gave you, that's conversion practice. This is all building you towards the stoichiometry unit, which you have to do dimensional analysis. And so I have supplied a very unique set of unit conversions that we'll be using with our worksheet. So the very first problem that we're going to start with is that you have 35 Taurus. How many Rakal is that? So we always start with what we're given, which is the 35 Taurus. And so we're going to label it. And I'm going to make my railroad track. And I'm setting over 1. And you'll see later an example where that is no longer 1. But we're going to start off easy like this, and we're going to put this over 1. So if I look at my worksheet here, and I go and find Taurus, I find out that I can go from Taurus to Salak, and Salak to Rakal. So those are units I'm going to be using as I do that. That's where the number is going to come from. And so when I read my chart, I have Taurus up here on top. I'm going to put Taurus on bottom. That's the only way I can cancel them out. And when I look at my chart, that's 1 Taurus for every 60 Salak. Now, I'm not there yet, so I need to add another one of my railroad tracks to it. And now that I have Salak on top, I'm going to go back to my chart again, and now I'm going to put in this 1.5 Salak to 60 Rakal. And since Salak is on top, we put the Salak unit on bottom. And the Rakal on top. And now we just need to solve. So, you're going to take, it's the product of the top divided by the product of the bottom. So I'm going to take 35 times 60 times 60 divided by 1.5. Taurus cancels, Salak cancels, I'm left with Rakal. And when I do the math, I get 84000, and I'm going to label my unit Rakal. Okay. So let's do another example. I have 4.3 Talar. How many Ferat is that? So the same process we've done before. I'm going to come in here and I'm going to set up my railroad tracks. And then I start with what I'm given. So I'm given 4.34 Talar. I always start with what I'm given. And I'm going to place that over 1. I go back to my sheet. I'm going to go find Talar. And I want to go to a Ferat. I have a Talar that goes to an Acyl, but not directly to a Ferat. But I do have a Talar going to a Ferat. So 0.454 Talar equals 1 Ferat. So we're going to use that. So I have Talar on top. I'm going to put Talar on bottom. So 0.454 Talar to 1 Ferat. So again, product at the top divided by product at the bottom. I have 4.34 divided by 0.454, because again, the talar has canceled. I am left with 9.60 farad. The reason it's only 2 past the decimal is because my original number was 2 past the decimal. So now let's do something a little more challenging. If you have 75.6 nudak per talar, how many lursa per farad do you have? It's the same process. So we're going to start by putting in our railroads. And I'm going to start with what I'm given. So I'm going to start with my 75.6. I'm going to abbreviate nudak per talar. Do one at a time. So I'm going to go check out my chart, and I find out that 1 nudak is equal to 105 praxis. One praxis is equal to 40.47 lursa. And then I have one more to go. No, I'm there. There's my lursa, sorry. Now I'm going to take the talar and 0.454 talar is equal to 1 farad. Okay? So nudak cancels, praxis cancels, lursa is what I want, talar cancels, and left farad. Again, always opposites. So then, let's just do it this way. 75.6 times 105 times 40.57 times 0.454. That product divided by the product at the bottom, which happens to be 1. I'm only going to have 1 past the decimal. And I get 146,208.3 lursa per farad. And that is how you handle the star track dimensional analysis, which prepares you for stoichiometry.